Hello everyone and welcome to this week's reviews. After a lengthier than expected hiatus, the newest movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is here, albeit one set before the big events of the last two Avengers films. It's the latest adventure with Natasha Romanoff, as she finally gets her own solo movie. This is Black Widow. Even though you know her eventual fate in Avengers Endgame, this movie still ends up a really entertaining and well put together action movie. Director Cate Shortland is able to set up the stakes and the mission Natasha finds herself in and puts together some exciting action scenes. I really liked how the action utilized Natasha's fighting skills as well as those of her assorted family. The choreography is expertly realized and the stunt team brings out all the stops. However, even when we get a break from the action, the story is still engaging. I like Natasha in the other Marvel movies, but she was rarely the standout character. So it's nice to see this movie expand on her as she deals with her past and her attempts to move away from all that to become an Avenger. The best scenes come from her interactions with Florence Pugh as her quote-unquote sister Yelena. Pugh helps turn her into a fun character, with Scarlett Johansson having a great back and forth with her. The script allows them multiple times to bond and develop their relationship. David Harbour is a lot of fun as their father figure, and Rachel Weisz is very good as always. The film moves along at a really good pace, and even though this is a film that maybe could have been done a few years earlier, I never felt like knowing the outcome affected my interest. If anything, it adds another element on top that really highlights the sad and complicated life Natasha has led. I also want to praise the inclusion of the opening title sequence. The MCU movies usually save those for the end, and I believe this is the first to include one at the beginning since The Incredible Hulk. It's a creative way to open Black Widow and get the film off to a strong start. Overall, Black Widow makes for a really good installment in the MCU. Next up is an adult animated comedy depicting the American Revolution, and now streaming on Netflix, America, the Motion Picture. Watching this movie, I cannot help but feel like I was watching something that would have been produced by Comedy Central in the early to mid-2000s. It has that feel to it, with the heavy emphasis on frat boy humor and other jokes aimed at immature youngsters. That's not a compliment. For a good chunk of the runtime, I hardly registered a smile, as it goes for one easy, crude joke after another. This is the kind of movie that finds the sound of an historical figure shouting the F word or chugging a whole keg of beer to be the height of comedy. I certainly like my fair share of sophomoric R-rated comedies like Team America World Police, Deadpool, Sausage Party, Bad Santa, American Pie, the Harold and Kumar trilogy, and a number of Kevin Smith movies to name a few examples. However, those movies still had something going on under the crude humor, and did not always go for the expected gag. America the Motion Picture goes for easy jokes more often than not, and most don't land. Sam Adams' whole shtick mainly involves shouting inappropriate and macho statements, and that's it. You hire Jason Mantzoukas to do his voice, and that's all you give him? They also run a joke about Paul Revere living with horses right into the ground. And then there are the gags about the British having bad teeth and loving tea, which are about as old as the United Kingdom itself. Not to say all jokes are duds. A few immature line readings did result in chuckles, and there are a few clever jokes aimed at the problems of modern America, primarily in the final scene. I also did enjoy the big action climax, where all manner of real and mythic American figures arrive to take part in a massive battle. The direction really came alive in that sequence. And regarding the animation and visual presentation of the movie, I did like the steampunk aesthetic mixed with this anachronistic depiction of Revolutionary-era America. Otherwise, America the Motion Picture just did not result in as many smiles as I hoped. As I said, it's available to watch on Netflix, so give it a look and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching this week's reviews, and I'll see you next time.